Welcome back to the Empowered by Design podcast. This is part 2 of your dream wedding day with no regrets. And I am so excited to bring you part 2 of this exciting, emotional, meaningful, and special episode about weddings, love, family, unexpected emotion, and what happens when we pause. When we pause, we reflect, we process, and the beauty and magic that can follow. Stay tuned. Welcome to the podcast, Empowered by Design. I'm your host, Dr. Liz, a licensed psychologist and owner of Visionistas by Design Wellness Boutique in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. This podcast is about the power of connection and a proactive approach to mental health and overall wellness. It's about finding and owning your power right now and using it for good by nurturing the connection of body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit. Empowered by Design podcast delivers psychological concepts and practical strategies with a real-life approach, designed to empower health and wellness, optimal performance, authentic connection with yourself and others, and purposeful, joyful living. Be well, live empowered, dream, design, deliver. Hello, and welcome to podcast episode 63. Oh my gosh, I just had a thought about that even as I said that number. I'm going to jot it down so I don't forget. Welcome back. I am going to get right into part 2 because, wow. So if you did not yet listen to part 1 of this episode, your dream wedding day, our dream wedding day, my dream wedding day, everybody's dream wedding day with no regrets, make sure to go back and listen to podcast episode 62. It ended unexpectedly, and for you and for me, let me just tell you. So we came to the end of episode 1, and at the beginning I was saying, I might have to do 2 podcasts. There's so much to talk about. And there is so much to talk about. There's so much I did not get to. But it came to the end of a natural ending because I had to wrap up. Logistically, I had an appointment. There's my itinerary brain. And it emotionally came to a really good stopping place. I had some unexpected tears that just, I love and I embrace my crying. That's what I do. However, in that moment, I was like, where is this coming from? I did not expect this. I wasn't expecting to talk about this. And not because I didn't want to share it consciously, but because I thought that I had already processed that part of things, and for a few reasons. So just to recap, where we ended last time was I was sharing with you memories that other people had shared with me about their special wedding day. So when I was naming people and I was saying, this person remembered this, it was when they had shared with me their special memories from their wedding day. So I was saying that Luke, my brother, loved my dad's speech before the meal at Luke and Erin's wedding. And my dad asked the people there who had a military service background to stand and honored them. And it's emotional, right? So I can feel it now. That regret, and what that led to then was me talking about my brother Seth was in the Navy at the time of my wedding and could not make it. And I'm sad about it. We're all sad about it. He's sad about it, right? Like we knew this. So this was not something like, oh, I didn't know I was sad about that. We all knew, because if you know my family, the DeBoer clan, the DeBoer Schnitzel crew, we love hard. We are a hard loving bunch, and we love to be together. We love to gather. We love just connection. There aren't really words to explain just the feeling of being with your people, and they are my people, right? I have 3 brothers. My parents, thank God, are still here with us, and we love to gather, and we live close enough that we gather often, and we're very, very, very fortunate, very blessed, very lucky. So to not be at a wedding is a big deal, and that was sad for all of us. And Seth and I have talked about it. Seth, so as I was looking back on through my wedding album leading up to this episode, there's a picture not only of Chad, me crying after Chad's had roses delivered. Here I go, like, slow down, because I am excited about this episode, excited just to share this whole thing with you. So I cried with the roses, and there's a picture of me on the phone with Seth. So I'm in my wedding dress, and so he should have called before I put my mascara on, although I did wear waterproof, so that's good. But there is a photo of me with a landline phone, so the cord and all, actually holding the phone, and he called me, and I don't remember the words, but he probably made me laugh and made me cry all at the same time, because he is a goofball. And so very, very sentimental and loving. And he was so sad to miss the day, not just because it was my wedding day, but because it was so fun, and he loves fun. And it was a blast of a wedding. And so I knew that part. I'm saying I knew that part. So that was the emotion was unexpected, because when in last episode, part 1, I said I have one huge regret about my wedding, and I didn't even get to share it yet. So it's tied in the mix. I kind of alluded here and there, my itinerary, blah, blah, blah. But because I love all the details, and I am a detail-oriented, perfectionistic person. Yes, I am. We can get caught up in the details and the time, and making sure this is on time, and making sure this is happening when it should be happening, and making sure people are eating on time. So that was in the forefront of my mind. And so in scheduling the wedding itinerary, remember I said the wedding started at 6 p.m. So we had like a 30-ish, 35-minute wedding, which is kind of a long wedding, to be honest. But we had lots of singing, because I love singing. We sang, Jarrett sang, my mom and her siblings played their instruments. We had a very traditional wedding. And I was worried about jamming too much in before dinner, that people would be hungry. As I'm saying it sounds like, oh my gosh, but this is me. This is what happened. And this is why we want to help you not have these regrets, not have details that can be shifted, like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever. There were hors d'oeuvres. People were not starving. That my dad asked if he could write a poem. Now I'm crying, and I knew that I would be crying. Even though I knew it, it doesn't matter. I still cry. When Charley DeBoer writes a poem, it's magical. And I said no, because I was afraid people would be hungry and I wanted to stick to the itinerary. I'm going to pause and let you judge me. Go ahead, throw it at me, because I'm judging myself. I'm so hardly judging myself. I mean, hard judging myself. I'm going to take a sip of coffee because it's morning, and I'm, going to just do that. So that is by and far my biggest regret that I had control over of the day. I had no control that my brother couldn't make it. I had no control that my cousin Kyle, also in the military, couldn't make it. He also wrote me a cute letter I have in my album. So I couldn't control those things, right? There are certain things, the weather, people who can't make it, people who have passed away and are there in spirit. I believe it truly. We can't control those things, but I could control this, and that is why it is my biggest regret. As I'm talking about the people who I missed at my wedding, and this podcast, number 63, my pop-pop passed away when he was 63. And he was not physically present at our wedding. That is sad for me too. Again, outside of my control. So when I was coming and planning this episode, 1 and 2, I wasn't thinking consciously about those things. I wasn't thinking about the regrets or the sad things about the day that I couldn't control. I was thinking about what are the things I would have done differently had I had the opportunity to. And that is it. So I'm going to pause again, because pauses are great, and let you just kind of have your time to reflect yourself on your day, your upcoming day maybe, or other things in life it brings up, right? So we're talking about one day, a wedding day, and of course it touches into the aspect of general life, because the wedding day is a beautiful day that if we just close our eyes, and don't close them if you're driving, at the pinnacle, my hand is in the air, like top, right? Like the wedding day, it's like that cherry on top. And it represents all of those things underneath. Life, the people, the moments, balancing your itinerary and your schedule, and all the tasks and all the things that you think are so important. Eating is important. It is. My family will tell you I'm hangry. I am a hangry person. And when I'm hungry, I get angry. Maybe that's it, right? That I was thinking about myself instead of other people will be fine, Liz. But the day is a representation of the magic, the beauty, the intricacies of our lives. That we need balance. We absolutely, there has to be some kind of a schedule, absolutely. I would have an itinerary again. I promise I would, but I would make it a little looser. And so would Kristi, my sister-in-law. So she also had a wedding itinerary. And when we were chatting about her memories, the things she loved, the things she regretted, she also talked about her itinerary being tight. And Mark, her husband, was like, "Yep, that itinerary, prevented some special moments." Absolutely. He said Mark said I would have just kind of enjoyed myself a little bit more with the guys, with the groomsmen before the wedding, but we were on a tight schedule, right? So, and I'm sharing this with you because Kristi said I could, and we're similar in that way that sometimes we can be rigid with details, and it can just make special moments not as possible. And that's the reality of it. And so, yes, this is about the wedding day. Yes, this is about reflections and reminiscing and regrets. But it's about life, right? It is also about our lives. And am I trying to cram too many details into our tight schedule? Yes. Check. Yes. I wrote about it in my journal this morning, not anything to do with this episode, but, I was at work late last night. Things went longer than expected. Wonderfully, there were special moments in the wonderful, extra time that I spent, and it was magical. But it meant that when I got home, my kids were already in bed. And I hate it. So I just wanted to snuggle with them this morning. And of course, I was up way earlier than they were. So I had to wait, but I did get my little snuggles in. But it is about life. It is about delivering the love of your life, the day of your dreams, the life of your dreams. Breathing, pausing, allowing you to do the same, inviting you to think of where you can loosen up your itinerary, shift it, make time to enjoy the special moments of your life, of your day. After last episode abruptly ended, I did a lot of processing and reflecting and journaling, because it was unexpected. I'm like, where is this coming from? Yeah, and of course, I do get very emotional and grateful for our military service members. Thank you all. Very special to my heart. I think if you would go back and listen to episode 9, I talked about my cousin Tim, who earned a Purple Heart. And there's tons. Why my dad brought it up at the wedding, because we have a family full of military service members. And it's so special and so important and so meaningful. So as I was journaling, processing, reflecting, I was regretting again, even harder, my decision to say, no, Dad, you can't read a poem, because I do believe I get some of my, I would say gifts. I think I will say gifts in just kind of speaking from my heart, speaking from my soul, with the emotion that's there, and touching other people's lives from my dad. Thanks, Dad. Love you. You are going to meet Charley DeBoer. Don't you worry. Cause he's another one that I have on the list that I asked long time ago to come on the podcast, and he hasn't given me the nod yet, but he'll be here. Yes, so I did not get to have my dad deliver the long poem or the magic that would have come. My dad did say the prayer. So I'm not saying I said, no, Dad, you cannot speak. I just said, keep it short. That's what I did because Charley DeBoer can tell a story. A long story. So maybe that's another gift I get from him when I'm rambling. Yes, you know it. You know, if you've listened before and even today, you know I can ramble. Sometimes we have, sometimes it's annoying. I know. And I've been told myself like, okay, Charley, wrap it up. So, there's that. There's all these things in the mix, but, Charley did say the prayer. He welcomed the guests. He said some words. He absolutely did. And I really do hope he has them somewhere written down. I'm sure well, you know what? If he doesn't, Margie does. Right, Mom? She keeps everything. She keeps everything. Love it. Thank you, Mom. And I'm going to find it. So anyway, my biggest regret and why this is such a passion for me. And did I even realize how deep of a passion it was when I started this episode, a few days ago, part 1? No. But I'm so excited, so excited, and so excited to be venturing into this service of wedding coaching for brides, for couples, to help you deliver the day that is full of love, full of special moments, full of balance, on schedule. It's important, but it's important to balance. And what helped me realize my regret about not letting my dad do the poem was a few months later. We had a lot of weddings that year. 2016 was the year of weddings. I just met someone last night at the Goddess Circle. Joanna also got married in 2006. I'm sorry, 2006. It was June 16th, 2006. So we had a ton of weddings and it was such a fun year. Like wedding. I love weddings. I miss them. Don't you miss them? Oh my gosh, when I say that, COVID, another thing. Okay, but it's coming back. I'm hearing lots of weddings are upon us, people. We're back. A couple months later, I was at a wedding, a friend's wedding, and the bride's dad gave a beautiful speech. Megan and Jason's wedding. The bride's dad, Megan's dad, talked, I think, I think he may have even had like pictures, like a PowerPoint. He talked about Megan when she was little and playing soccer and all through the years, and then welcomed Jason in. And it was, I'm of course crying at this wedding, and not just because of the beauty of the speech, but like, why didn't I let my dad do that for me? Yes, I did. I did think that. So that's when it hit me. I was like, oh my gosh. And I talked about it. So Charley and I have talked. He knows about this. I've apologized. I was like, I'm so sorry. And I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for me. I'm sorry for the people there that missed out on the Charley DeBoer poem. That's how I knew about the regret, That's the big one. I will say that just the process of this podcast episode, so me reaching out to people and tell me your stories, tell me your regrets, has done some other magic. So even Charley had a regret from his wedding that he shared with us in our family text as we were reminiscing. And a couple of days later, texted us back that he apologized to the person, to his mom, to my Gigi, about something he regretted from his wedding. And so it's fun. It's fun. It's meaningful. It's sad. It's uncomfortable sometimes to remember things we regret or things we could have done differently. It is uncomfortable. And it's also helpful to kind of anticipate those hurdles before they happen, right? When you are planning anything, but we're talking about weddings, so we're going to go with that example. When you're planning this day, you're planning this huge party, celebration of love, celebration of the blending of two lives coming together, two families coming together, regardless of when it is in your relationship. So whether you've been living together already and now you're, making it official for the state and before God and the universe and all of your family and friends, because that happens too. And let's be honest, with COVID, that happened, and even before COVID. But I know a lot of people who had to cancel weddings, reschedule, delay, elope, and then have another party later where people could come and enjoy each other's company and connection without the fear of death from COVID. When you are planning, working towards a goal, working towards a vision, one of the really important steps, and we do it in our Dream Design Deliver formula here, is anticipating the hurdles and figuring out a plan to jump over them, move around them, get them out of the way. Of course, we can't anticipate every single thing. There are certain things, again, outside of our control. However, those that are within our control, it can be helpful to spend some time talking about them. So if you are planning anything in your life, whether it's a wedding or a vacation, anything, a move, a party, talk about it, spend some time pondering, reflecting. And when we make room, right, by making the lists or moving the task list, the itinerary out of the way, and we pause, we make the space for some of those other things to come to the surface. When I paused after last episode, processed, I was able to really get deep and understand a lot more about the emotion and the meaning and the significance and why I'm doing this. Why is this meaningful to me? Besides just that I love love. This is why. I just love this so much. Love, love, love. Love, love. You know that. Just love talking about the magic of love and the reflection on how we can translate this sentiment, this meaning, enjoying your special moments, making your dream day, your dream life, and why it can be so helpful to have someone help you do that. Talk about it, plan, journal, write, and check us out. Check us out, our packages to help you design and deliver your dream day with no regrets. We have a Hello Spring special that is happening right now. Check it out at visionistasbydesign.com, at relationship coaching, or at drliz.com/funlove right now. So you can find out more about our coaching programs for weddings, along with all the other fun things that we do. We have lots of programs, lots of programs, fun and new coming. Vicky's A New You program. We have our Fun Love Couples Coaching, Couples Workshop Series. It's here. So much to help you with your love at every stage of the game. And we just want to help you now before it's broke, before you are regretting, avoiding, ignoring. Yeah. Check us out. So excited. So it's fun. It's fun and fun to think of the special moments. I'm going to share a few more because I asked you and I love them. And I'm just so excited to share some more. I shared some so don't forget to check out, don't forget to check out episode 62. I will link it in the show notes because I shared some special fun memories from people. Yes. So a theme is make it your day. Make it your day. Pause and reflect on what is special for you and your partner together as a couple, individually. You both are coming into this with your lives up to the point that you met and started to make a beautiful blending of lives. Allow that to come through in your wedding. Your lives separately, your lives together, the people who have made meaning and special significance, touched lives, magic in yours. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of something amazing, beautiful, magical. Make it yours. Collectively, the people who shared things with me, Candice and Sara, Regan, Kristi and Mark, Lauren, Meridith and Chris, Heather, Erica, Allison, Chad, Luke and Erin, Jacob and Erin, Seth and Amy, Mom and Dad, Jen, Renee. There were special, magical moments with family, with each other. Sitting at the long table, Candice said, just kind of looking down to my left and to my right, and all my favorite people in all the world were with me on this day. Allowing for people to sit where they want, not getting so caught up with the table arrangements or having a head table. That was a regret from Sara of, just letting people, the wedding party, sit with who they came with. Also stretching it out beyond just that day can be helpful to think about. The before, the after. So Renee shared a memory of the next morning they were home, and before the busyness of packing or gathering, she and her partner, husband Jody, danced with each other. Dancing, that was another popular fun memory. Make it your music. That's one I'll tell you. I have a memory of I was like having a little hissy fit, my mom would say, in the middle of my wedding. I'm like, what is this song that the DJ is playing? And my friend, one of my bestest friends, Missy, also a bridesmaid, goes, what do you want to hear? I'll go tell them. She marched right up. Lady Marmalade it was, people, Lady Marmalade. And we danced. The dancing, the pictures, Paca. I have a picture of my Paca who he was at the wedding. He wore a purple shirt. Purple. Love you, Paca. Dancing with me on the dance floor. So special. So very special. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming back time and time again. Thank you for supporting this episode. I am wrapping it up, as you can see, because of my itinerary. I have an appointment to get to, and I have talked your ear off enough. And the lovely thing is, this is what I love about us and our relationship. We'll be back. You'll be back next week because there's more to come. You hear me every week. I love to connect with you every week. Follow me at Dr. Liz, DrLyz.com, and on social media, and at Visionistas by Design. And we'll connect again. We will connect again, and we will talk more about these beautiful, magical, special, glorious moments and making your life the life of your dreams. Take care. Thank you for connecting on this episode of the podcast, Empowered by Design. For further connection, subscribe to my email list at drliz.com to be sure that you are in the loop for exciting news, events, and resources. You can also follow me on social media at Dr. Liz and at Visionistas by Design. I invite you to subscribe to this podcast and send this episode to one of your people in order to share the love, spread the power. This podcast is designed to inspire, educate, and empower you to pursue your dreams with intentional vision. This podcast is not meant to be a substitute for psychological treatment or a working relationship with a licensed mental health professional. For more information on connecting with mental health resources in your area, visit drliz.com and click on resources. Thank you again for connecting, and remember, trust the heart, work your vision, dream, design, deliver.